Welcome. Today is the third session, Unit 3, MMBM 001, Block 1. Today topic is organizational buying behavior. We have already studied the buying behavior as a customer. Today we are going to, when organization is going to purchase a particular kind of product, how they are purchasing, what are the different factors affecting that. So let us go through the contents. Introduction. What is organizational buying behavior? Organizational buying behavior, important features and typical characteristics. Who are the organizational customers? What influences organizational buying? The organizational buying situations, organizational buying behaviors, some models, and the selection of supplier. Recent development that have impacted organizational buying. So first is organizational buying behavior. It's a decision-making process, different factors being involved there because it's a big organization. So many things are there. And when are you going to select which supplier is going to provide this particular product? So decision-making process, it's a lingering process. So a lot of time being taken for taking the decision. Organizational buying behavior has too many stages, so we have to go through the different stages to understand it properly, how there is a relevance of the different stages. It starts with the problem recognition, second description, third is product specification, fourth is search for supplier, fifth is proposal solicitation and supplier selections, order routine specification and performance. So we'll start with the problem recognition. We have already know this particular thing from the consumer decision making process. We need to identify as a customer what we need, the product what we are lacking. Previously that product is existing with the companies, that is not existing, completely a new product. Then what are the kind of conditions and what are the kind of things to be taken. So these issues must be discussed properly within the organizations related to what is the issue, what kind of product they require, and the product specification, all these things. So once product recognitions will be there, we can say also identification of the problem, what we require, that is a product, that can be a service. So we are going to define it in the description, that is in the stage 2. Identify solutions, gathering the data and products or services. Like is this possible that what the product existing, is it there in the organization can solve the problem, or we need this kind of services from the outsourcing, or we need directly to purchase this particular product. That is being done first to understand it, whether there is a requirement of the product purchase or not. If there is no requirements, and then the solutions can be possible through the within the organization. So here identifying this particular solution is more important because you need to take this particular product purchases from outside, then you need to go for the next stage. So that is what product specification. When we told that we require a particular kind of product, so we have to specify what kind of product we require. And that particular case is it's a completely complex product. So when it is a complex product in the organizational buying, so a lot of features are there. We need to go through each and every attributes of this particular product, whether that is the kind of requirement is there or not. We cannot say that all the kind of features we require in that particular product because it is just specific. Like I can say that if a particular company is going to purchase a particular kind of software, so software specifications, definitely you need to keep what kind of software it must be, whether it is a computer solutions, whether it is a statistics related solutions. So you need to define it from the beginning, and what the specific attributes you require in that particular software. We can talk regarding the kind of services you require in that particular software, that must be mentioned. So that is you are going to do in the case of product specification. We can call it as a product specification, or you can say as a service specification. When we are going to purchase it's a service. Then the fourth stage is coming for the search for the supplier. This is a very difficult process that we need to understand it from the market. Who are the supplier of that kind of product, whether it is a service or a product. So that kind of suppliers, when you are going to search, we need to understand also that companies are really going to give the right solution which is going to help you in the long run, or if they are unable to provide that kind of solutions, then that's a benefit. So selection of suppliers is quite difficult, that you need to collect the information from the different suppliers which are available, and the level of knowledge regarding that area, which product you are going to purchase. That is mostly you are trying to do in the fourth stage, that is for the search for the supplier. Fifth stage is coming, that is proposal solicitation. Here, sending the inquiries. Mostly you will find that if it is a product cases, let us say a particular institute is going to purchase a laptop. So laptop specification for, it's not a bulk amount of laptop is going to purchase. So what he is going to do, that organization, if it is an institution. So definitely he has certain specification, or we can say configuration of this particular computer. So that configuration, how many pieces, 1000 piece, 2000 piece, 1 lakh piece, whatever the requirement is there. So that is you are going to specify. We may call it as a, you are putting a sales order. The sales order you are going to put to the supplier. The supplier is going to see that what kind of specification you have sent, and that proposals is going to analyze that what extent that particular supplier can able to provide. Whether the supplier can able to give the entire solutions, or the suppliers will see whatever the things he can provide, or he needs some assistance from the other organization, that also he has to mention. Otherwise, if he is unable to do that one, then certain other supplier, the buyer need to identify to see that this kind of solutions can be provided by the supplier. Supplier selection. So evaluation of the suppliers based on the proposal. Now, what is it happening, that when you are sending this particular proposal to the different suppliers, so the suppliers also equally going to give the quotation to you, and this quotation is based on that too many characteristics, like kind of product or services they are going to provide, then the annual service or warranty, or they will what kind of service they'll provide, whether it is a doorstep services, or their people will come to do the services for the entire year, like that. So everything besides that, the most important thing also, price must be mentioned in that particular process. So here the suppliers from the different suppliers are, which are there in the market, they will give this particular kind of quotation to the buyers. So buyers, what he is going to do, 7th stage is coming, then order routine specification. So placing order with the selected supplier. So here he will see that which is the supplier which is suitable suppliers, because there are a lot of things being involved in this particular matter, like what you require exactly, what is the percentage the product which they are trying to provide will satisfy your need. If this is 80% satisfying your need, or 95% satisfying your need, that the basis you are going to select. So there is a specification regarding what they can able to provide, besides that the price structure. So these two things mostly the buyers are going to make the analysis, that where they will get the higher benefit. If they are going to select this particular suppliers, then these particular suppliers can able to provide a particular goods or services, and with this particular price specification, and that proposals they are to analyze among all the members in that particular buyer community of that organization, and after that they will take the decisions that which they want to send it to the supplier, which supplier they want to collect it. So that is what supplier selection, evaluation of the suppliers based on the proposals, and order routine specification is happening. So placing the order with the selected suppliers, so out of too many suppliers, then you are going to place, might be some kind of negotiations might be going to take place regarding the pricing, and product delivery to the organization. So conditions, that is they are going to mention also, are they going to deliver, or there will be extra delivery charges, and besides that also installation of this particular products if it requires. So these are the few things must be specified in the order routine specification. And the last one is the 8th stage is the performance review. So once product being sold, it is very important when it is a B2B business, mostly that is business to business, this is going to happen, that what kind of services they will provide, and their people will look after this particular product services. If any problem will occur, if training requirement will be there, or any upgradation of the product will require. So these particular cases, performance review is more important. So performance review cases also, they have to make the conditions with the buyers, that what kind of performance review they can able to provide. So this is all about what we are going to talk regarding organizational buying process, starting from problem recognitions, identified the buyers at end. So in this particular performance review, what extent these services or product what you have purchased can able to satisfy your requirement. At the same time also there will be continuous support. Organizational buying characteristics. So organizational buying is a multi-person buying activity, because we know it very well that when industry to industry, sorry, one factory to another factory is having in the B2B services, so it is not an individual marketer can do this particular kind of marketing. It is just not like the customers, those who are purchasing and a customer as an end user, those who are directly purchasing from the company. So it's not this kind of product. This is a organizational buying. So definitely lot of people being involved there. So you will find might be some of the cases entire marketing department is involved in that particular matter, or the purchase department is also involved. Purchase department will be involved in the raw material purchases, and marketing department as a seller will be involved in this particular. So as a buyer, we can say that there is a purchase department who are responsible for purchasing any kind of products, and the price is also too high, product complexity also very high. So there is a requirement of group of people. Means might be within that group, technical people will be there, then financial people will be there. So it's a team who is going to purchase this particular. Second is it is a formal activities followed by, so this is whatever the things you are going to do with the supplier. These all the activities must be noted, because that is the kind of follow-up you are going to take. Longer time lag between efforts and results. So it's not a one day process that entire thing you can do overnight or like that. So it's a long term process. So definitely what you can do, each and every activities you have to notate it down, and you are going to make it as a formal basis. So the time may consume more time, but your decisions must be the right decision. So that's why a lot of people being involved in this particular matter. Rational but also emotional activities. So here purely rational activities, because what the product will perform, the specification given by the supplier, as per that basis the decisions being taken by the different people. But here emotional activities are also there. The thing we can say that when individual person is being involved, so their emotion being related to how many years their interactions with that organization supplier, and if it is a new supplier. So these are the kind of questions are there, although rational things being happening, but the persons being involved, the person who is going to look after all these things, so he is always finding that whenever I will call for the people, definitely they should come and they must have a good relationship with us to give the services. So these kind of things must be seen in the organizational character. And the uniqueness of the organization, that means what way the suppliers can able to provide the products which is not available with the other suppliers, and what is the uniqueness of that particular thing. So that is must be studied properly to go for that. Now, factors influencing organizational buying behavior. So each factors has the responsibility grade, because what I discussed from the beginning, that it is just not a individual activity and individual seller, individual that is buyer, that two persons being or bilateral issues, we can say that both the persons can be discussed and can be sorted out. So it's not like that. So when the organization is buying, so entire department is responsible for that. Any kind of product failure, product is not doing very well, product hazard cases, so all the responsibility will go to the buying department. So because of that, these are the few factors definitely every organization has to consider before going for the purchases. The different stages will start with the environmental factor, organizational factor, interpersonal factor, individual factor, and finally it is the organizational buyer. So why it is a funnel shape means one is bigger, next is smaller, because this is a broad environment. First, we are going to think. Second is little bit lesser broad environment, lesser, and when it is coming to the buyer, that is a small organization who is going to purchase this kind of product. So environmental cases, economic development. So here you will find your organization what extent financially so sound, or can take the actions instantly, or it will take more time. It is purely based on the, and your organization is in the developmental stage, or it is mostly using the highly techy products, or it is old concepts are there. So that you need to study from the beginning. On the basis of that also the decision being taken. Supply conditions, so here you need to, that buyer has to interact with the sellers regarding what are the terms and conditions, the breakage, the spoilage, the kind of things will happen, the breakdown or breaking during the process. So these are the things must be discussed from the beginning. If the terms and conditions are not clear, both the party are transparency not being maintained, so there would be a problem between, because the cost or the price of this particular product is too high. So that's why it requires a lot of time to take the decisions regarding that. Technological change, so whatever the product today organizations are purchasing, it's just not like that after certain days it will be obsolete. So that part also equally you need to see that which product are you purchasing, if it is a mostly software based kind of software, or if it is a computer based, IT based. So that particular cases the technological change is very fast. So you need to understand that at least when you are purchasing any product and services, at least for 10 years, you no need to pay extra. So for that, you need to study very well. Political and regulatory development. So what is the political regulatory developments, means that tax being changed or something is going to change in the market. So it should not affect at least the organization. Otherwise, there is a legal issue or some political issues or political party being changed like that. So it is going to affect the product what you have purchased, or there is a import issue. That particular cases you have purchased with the country's relationship is not good, so you cannot get also the services from there. So this part also equally you need to see. Competitive development, so you need to understand it properly that what the product you are going to purchase, and the so many suppliers are there. So what this particular product competitive way is more potential than the other brands of product. So that competitive wise, if you will not find any product which is good one, or you can say that this particular product is unable to perform better than the competitors, and then this stage, but at least to purchase the product is a it's not a wise decision. Next is culture and norms. So your organizational culture and norms, it must be obeying these particular rules and regulations. Whether it is a labor intensive one, it is a capital intensive organization one. On the basis of that, you are going to take the decisions that whether this particular product are limited members are going to use or more members are going to use. That must be also verified from the beginning. Second stage is it coming, that is organizational. So organization cases, organization to organization differ. So here your organizational objectives, what is your objectives? In the long run you are going to sustain, or you are in the short term you want to gain more, you want to give the service faster, your service upgradation is very fast. So these kind of objectives are there, so definitely your product must be updated one. Otherwise if it is outdated products, then it will be a problem. Policies, your organization policies, so policies are changing every 2 years, might be every organization their policies being changed. So it's properly being studied that these particular policies wise, that every 5 years, 10 years, that your product must be replaced kind of things, policies you have maintained, or the technology being changed, or fully computerization like kind of things, policies you have maintained. So that particular cases mostly you need to understand it properly to what kind of product you need to purchase. Next is coming procedures. So your procedures are less, like I can say if it is a government sector, if it is a private sector, so your procedures are different. Means mostly paperwork are there, less paperwork are there, more quickly the decision can be possible, less quickly the decisions are possible. It depends on the organization. So what procedures you are going to maintain, that is also going to affect that your purchase decisions. Organizational structure, what kind of hierarchy in your organization being maintained? Too many hierarchy, so it will more time consuming for any particular kind of decision. Less hierarchy, it is very fast, your decision making will be faster. Systems, what kind of system is it that they are following? So that particular things you need to see that the particular system is at par, or it's similar kind of systems, or different kind of system. Means let us say your system is something different than the other kind of system, your mode of operandi, modus operandi, or your mode of operations are different. Then that cases you need to very careful by selecting the different kind of products, because you have to give the reply for that. Next is coming interpersonal. So interpersonal cases, we have the authority, status, empathy, persuasiveness. So interpersonal cases, the person who are involved in this particular buying process, he is authority, which position, which designation he is in. If his designation plays a vital role because his decision power is more. If the authority is not better, they are taking the decisions or decision may be changing frequently. That will affect a lot. Status, your status in this particular organization, which position you are belonging to, what is the responsibilities and authority is being taken by you. Empathy, how clear you able to translate or transform these informations, because your organization is completely maintaining transparency, that there is no employer relationship. You will find the very clear regarding that one. They are very transparent, so that particular cases your decision making will be faster. But if there is not transparent, the informations are not passing, they are maintaining very strictly, so that particular cases the decision making timing will be more, so it affects it. Persuasiveness, what way the particular organization can people can able to be convinced, means let us say a new kind of product being launched to your organization. So if the people are not understood it properly, or even if after giving the training also not interested to do that one, so that particular cases it is quite difficult. So persuasiveness is low, means then definitely the product acceptability also very low, and people may not like or interested to change the system or change the product what they have used earlier. Next is coming individual level. Individual level, age, education, job position, personality, and research. So you will find that the age wise, we can say a particular organization age statistics. If you are going to take the percentage people, they are in the retirement mode. Percentage people are there in the young stage. Percentage of people they are in the mid level management. That takes a final thing regarding that the your decision making. Mostly you will find in the software companies the young masses are more, but if you will find in the public sector, you may get more number of old age people are there. So age plays a vital role in your decisions making process, because more is the age, the decisions may not be very fast. So young maybe decision may be very fast. We cannot say generalize that one, but still this is the conditions. Mostly you will find that oldest people might be going to consume more time, and they may not take also the risks. So that's why they will verify it very properly before going for the any kind of decision. But youngest people in the other way, they want to change frequently. They want to give attention to their more important very often. So their decisions are based on also how products being changing, or they may go for also multiple times the product purchases. That can also be possible. Education, some of the cases we have seen that the education play also the vital role, because who are the people being involved during the decision making process? Are they chartered accountants? Are they engineers? Are they technical persons? Are they computer persons? Are they law people, or are they like that? The different kind of people are there together going to take the decisions for any kind of product to purchase. So education plays a very vital role also regarding that one. Your extent of knowledge to take the decisions plays a very vital role. Then next is coming the job position. So job position, which position you are belonging to, on what I discussed earlier cases also. So maybe this is related to the different departments. You belong to production department, somebody is from marketing, HR, and different positions are there. So that plays also a vital role for the decision making process. Next is the personality. Personality cases we'll find people of the different personalities may also consume more time or less time. Maybe people are gregarious, maybe people are authentic, uh, authoritarian concept kind of things they are going to give. So that plays a very difficult task for to take the decisions very fast. Risk attitude is also the more important thing, that when either you can say the financial risk, or any other kind of risk, that is psychological risk and other risks are there. We are going to discuss more detail regarding this one. Risk attitudes means what extent the people, those who are in the organization, take the actions against that one. The risk taking capabilities, they can do that. So that plays a very important role for taking decision. So these are the major factors which is affecting for the organizational decision making process as a organizational buyer. Now these factors what we have discussed, at some extent the contents are there, we can read it to understand it properly. These factors include economical, political, technical, legal, means all the environment what we have read it in marketing environment. These all environments importance and the relevance is more. So if you are going to talk financial, I can talk regarding economical cases, political cases, political stability, instability. Technical cases, we can say that the upgradation of this particular product or services. Legal, any law changes being happen or regulatory being changed. So these all things, and finally that is the cultural factor. So cultural factor means surprisingly changing something in the world. Just like I can say also in the technological cases, you will find that recently from the petrol vehicles they have gone to the electric. Now they are thinking about ethanol. So today Indian people are very much confused about the vehicle, which vehicle they will purchase, so that that will remain for another 15 years like that. So these kind of cases that environmental plays a vital role. Organizational factors, that is we have discussed in the second point, that is innovative in organizational buying. So you need to do something newness in your organization, means earlier this kind of things are not happening. So recently you're checking, verifying, seeing this particular product performance, everything, that is innovative ideas or innovative things you have done. You might be going to invite also third party to take the decisions regarding that. Emerging buyer is an important member of the buying center. So new buyers you are introducing or in your group might be keeping the new people, those who are joining to the organizations. So that is decentralization and centralization, means what extent are you going to take the decisions. Centralization means entire organization will be responsible for that. Decentralization is few people and their opinion, based on that also your organization can able to take the decisions. Computation of the organization buying. So computation cases, the entire things being processed, that information being happened. Then we are going for the conferences, online conferences, where the product performance and other thing can be shown. One-to-one approaches or questions, queries being solved. Separate buying and specialized jobs. So the product, if it is required some specialized area, which area mostly that organization is not operating, and that area mostly computer cases, that kind of things is it happening. So sometimes that particular cases it is quite difficult for them. So sometimes they are also calling the third party, what I discussed previous one. Consent prevent unhealthy transactions between buyers and marketers. So always you will find that what the terms and conditions they have made, that is the financial conditions also, how to pay, when to pay, all this documentation, everything must be a healthy one, not unhealthy. That transaction must be okay. Next is coming your recognition at the top level. This is also very vital thing, that top level people has to give their consent regarding whatever the middle level management are taking decision, that is being accepted. Otherwise it will be a problem, because that process will again go to the top level management. Again top level management will sit together to take the decisions, whether they want to purchase now or in future, whether the decision taken by the middle level management is right or wrong. So if this kind of thing will happen, then it will linger the process of your buying process. Now, interpersonal factors, what we have discussed here, problem solving approach, we have discussed in the Howard set model, that problem solving approach cases, that how the problem can be solved, that is extensive problem solving, limited problem solving, then routinized response behavior. So all those cases, level of informations you have, on the basis of that your decision making timing depends. If your information is more regarding that particular product, so definitely you will take consume less time to take the decision. But when you have limited information regarding that particular product or services, then you have to consume more time for the decisions. Persuasions, that what extent that you can able to accept the opinion of the others, and accepting that one, your decision making process will be faster. If you are not accepting, that decision making will be delayed. Bargaining cases, what extent the bargaining can be possible. It is a both way thing, that most both buyers and suppliers both are going to be involved in this particular process, because buyer is going to reduce the price and supplier is not will be convinced with this reduction of the price. So a particular point when both the buyers and sellers will consent, give their consent, that particular cases we can say that bargaining can be possible. Politicking, when the earlier three fails, what the parties resort to tactics you are going to use this particular, some new tactics you are going to use to capture this one. At least you have to make it that the purchases will happen. Individuals factors also, each member of the buying center has a unique personality. So here also you will find that the person involved, those who are going to do the selling or buying activities, so their personalities plays a vital role. How they are dealing, how they can able to convince, what extent their opinion being taken. So all these things are coming playing a vital role during your decision making process. Now, what we discussed earlier that what kind of risk being associated with these product purchases as a organizational buying. The first is coming that the size of the expenditure, what quantity or what amount this organization can able to invest, means that will not give a great problems to the organization. So that is must be studied from the beginning. Degree of novelty content in the type of buying task. So degree of novelty in the sense we can say that what purity they are trying to maintain during the purchases. If the purchases are not clearly mentioned, the terms and conditions, then that will create a problem in the future. Degree of product essentiality. Again, also need recognition not studied properly, then the essentiality of the product is also a question mark. That companies might be seeing that it was not essential to purchase the product. We unnecessarily purchased the product and also product failed. So it's a huge burden for any particular company. So that's why they are always study the degree of product essentiality. Otherwise, what they will do, they will prioritize, change the priorities of the product. They may not go for this one with the first priority. They may put it in the third or fourth priority. Factors provoking purchase. There are certain factors in the product which is provoking you to purchase. Means you will find that really something is there what you are missing with the present product. So if you will purchase that particular product, you might be going to get a lot of benefits in that particular product. So that kind of cases, this is a provoking purchases. So your friends might be, groups might be going to take the decision again and again to the purchases is highly essential. Although there is a cost associated with that, but we will get a great benefit because of the kind of services we are going to get. Now, perceived risk continue with the characteristics of the buyers. Buyers level of general self-confidence. So, when the buyers are purchasing in the organization, what extent they are confident about what they are purchasing, that is right or wrong. So that plays also. If they are not confident, then they may not get the right solution for the product replacement or the new product or a new technology or new services. Buyers levels of specific confidence in a given buying situation. So what kind of conditions being accepted, means if it is terms and conditions related to financial thing, terms and conditions related to the installation, terms and conditions related to the services. So all the things must be, they must have the confidence. What is the amount of payment during the first phase, second phase, third phase? So that has to be mentioned very properly. Buyer's experience in playing purchase role. So buyer's experience means they must have also the previous experiencing purchases experiences. Otherwise, it will be quite difficult if these are all people are new people that have not purchased earlier. So this is a great boomerang for the company. So they need to study it. At least few people must be present, those who have the previous buying experience. Buyer's purchase history. So when they are purchasing this particular product, what they have done earlier and what extent they purchase and what kind of product they purchase, whether they have the experience regarding high priced product purchased or the low priced product purchased. They have involved in all the stages. So this history must be studied properly to giving assignment to any buyer. So buyer's degree of technical and professional affiliation. So this is also equally important, that what extent you have the knowledge, what extent professionalism you understood, and technical expertise you people have to take the decisions. Otherwise, sometimes in the knowledge wise or technical information wise, they have limited knowledge, so problem will occur afterwards. Organizational environment. So organizational environment cases, some of the factors: size and financial standard of the organizational customer. So here you will find that what is the size of the organization, and financial standing means what extent they can take the risk, what is previous purchases, what extent they have purchased, how many times they have gone for the huge purchases, having more financial risks they have taken. So these are the minor issues that must be studied before purchases. The degree of decision centralization, again, it's the same thing, that what extent the purchase department will get the liberty to take the decisions. Otherwise, entire department decisions is based on the centralized decisions, means the top level management is going to take the decision. The degree of decision routinization. So degree of routinization means here the way you are purchasing, that is the criteria are same, the criteria fixation. So majority organizations worldwide, so their criteria is fixed. So if any purchases they will do in your future, they will based on the criteria what they have given. So that is must be also studied properly, interact with the people, what you are requiring, what it is not available with your organization, and that is the routine you are going to make, and on the basis of that your purchase decision must be taken. Management perceived risk. So here you will find performance risk, product may fail, outcome up to the performance standard. So here the previous experience regarding a particular product performance, the standards what you have mentioned, that standard this particular product is matching or not. So that must be studied as a management people, you need to study that one. Second is psychological risk here. Psychological risk related to that you are associating with this particular product, you are paying a huge amount, and that particular time whether it will not be a failure one, and at least the people those who have purchased and operating, they can able to do it in very well. So that must be studied here, and that is must be taken consideration before taking any decisions by the buying people. Now the different buying states are there, like you are the new company, then you are first time going to buy from the supplier. If you are a you are so many years you are operating, then completely rebuy situations are there. That means every time you are purchasing the same kind of products, and that is from the same suppliers. So that is a rebuying situations it will occur. And third thing is also there, that is you are modifying and buying. So depending on this particular kind of different situations, we have the three kind of buying situations is there. So first is what we discussed, that is straight rebuy situation. So straight rebuy situation is what? That here we are already linked with that particular supplier. The buyer is already linked with this particular supplier because too many occasions or so many years purchasing from the same buyers, same sellers, so suppliers also. So the thing is that here advantage is that they know it very well what is the terms and conditions, because previous cases they have done all these kind of things. So when it is a straight rebuy situations means simply only to give the product, the conditions and other thing must be in the same. It is not going to be changed. So whatever the content and that memorandum of understanding being written, so that particular both the cases you will find that is same. There will be no changes. If changes will happen, so that for that they require a particular meeting where they can able to change it. So here mostly the organizational buying cases, if the products, small products, if they are purchasing stationery items, lubricants, abrasive paints like that. So these particular cases straight rebuy, because it is not possible that if you are purchasing continuously these colors, stationery item from the same retailers or the same suppliers, so how many times you will go for to verify it whether this product is right, wrong or something. So what you will do, you are going to apply for the straight rebuy. Put a condition that you just come here and drop your product and take that particular amount of money, because it's a highly consumable products that is for the buyer. So they do not want to spend or misutilize their time to again reevaluate again and again to take the decisions. So that is the condition where you will find the requirement is very frequent, and the customers are purchasing very frequently this particular product. And the price, another important thing is that here the price must be not very high. Otherwise, if the price is high, definitely there is a requirement of to verify it whether the product is right or wrong. So low priced items and frequently purchased items cases mostly straight rebuy conditions may happen. Modified rebuy cases, I told that some kind of modification is it essential. Let us say earlier product what you are requiring, this product is little bit modifications of that one. Like let us say you are going to purchase a particular battery, that is the shape of the battery being changed, but battery having the same power. So what the as a seller or the supplier, what he can do? So he is going to change the shape because it will not fit to the where they are going to keep it this particular battery. So as per their requirement, they have to do that one. So modified battery charges is same, but they have to modify this one. That is the kind of things that. Then the new task situation I already discussed regarding when the company is completely new or if you are purchasing first time this particular product. So it's a completely new task situations. You have to put enough time for that. Like we can say that the personal computers, bigger computers you are purchasing, solar power solutions you are purchasing. Then we can talk regarding that the fire wasting systems you are you are centralized SC if you are trying to do first time. So all those cases, there is a requirement of that the people has to mix with you people. Then you take the decision, take your own time, sit both the party, go for a conference if it is possible, and then sorted out all the kind of things, what terms and conditions for the final purchase. So new task situations cases, everything you have to do the first time. So definitely your time must be more time you have to give, or more effort also you have to give. Now we are going through a simplest model what we have already read it in consumer decision making process. That is what we called it as a SR model, stimuli response model. So stimuli response model is what that here in the environment different kind of stimuli are there. So on the basis of that particular stimuli, the responses are different. So what kind of stimuli and what kind of responses depends on your senses. So we have like your five senses. So all the five senses being affected by the stimuli. So different stimuli is meant for the different kind of senses. Just like we know it very well, ear, nose, then tongue, then skin. Okay, so these are the things mostly eye. Then you are going to find all the five senses being affected with the different. So you can say it's a visual, then it is affecting eye. If it is a sound, if it is affecting the ear, and if it is a taste, then tongue is going to skin, touch, like that. So all kind of things being affected by this and response being given by the person if that is there. So stimuli is coming from the market environment and it is directly affecting to our senses. So before we will discuss that within the mid part, what we have already discussed the processing part in the previous slides, that decision making phase buying situation. So here external environment, already we have discussed how external environment plays a vital role. Different environment we have considered, that is in the factors influencing the buying behavior cases, and that external cases I discussed regarding the marketing environment, PESEL, that is political, economic, like that. So all these kind of cases we have discussed. And besides that also the environment, the other internal environments also which is affecting to your decision making, that is also being studied properly. Then organizational cases also, how organization to organization, the inside the culture, the kind of things the people are there, are in the different position, taking decision that is there. Then we discussed also the interpersonal cases, that how as a person your decision making as a position of different position you are in, your decision making are different. And individual, finally we have discussed regarding your age and other factors, like when you are taking the decisions, although it's a organizational decisions, but you are treating yourself as an individual, that whether your likingness and dislikingness of a particular product will be there, and that is mostly you are trying to do. So this is what mostly you are going to find in the case of that is organizational customers and what they're trying to do, that is processing. But before processing that, the informations are directly coming from the market. As we have read it properly from the market, that product, price, place, promotion. So census cases, when it is coming from the product, very often we have seen that by seeing the product, something is response is coming from your mind, that the product look is good, bad, the shape is not good, it will not perform. Such a small product, it may not perform. So product cases, it plays a vital role. So whenever any marketing decisions being taken by any buyer, So he's always trying to see the product unless until you have seen the product. But sometimes it is happening that it's a digital world, so we can able to see the product before the launch of this particular product, and that is through the digital platform. But the question is coming also when you are seeing a particular product physically and you are seeing that one in a computer or the web environment. So that particular cases, the product shape, sizes, colors may differ, or your opinion might be different. Like if you are driving a particular car and you have seen this particular car in the YouTube, will be something different because you studied this particular product very well, and after that also you are going to verify through the other means. But here in the product cases, there are too many other factors are also there. We by seeing the product with the brand name also, still you are not accepting because lot of things being there. First is we can talk regarding the product attributes. What are the different attributes of the product? How this particular product is superior than the other products which is available in the market. And besides that, we have also the warranties. So warranties, what extent the warranties the company is providing? Is it for the 1 year? It is for 2 years, 3 years, up to 10 years. We know it very well that in the case of refrigerator, that is for the refrigeration might be 1 years they have given, but you will find that is for the compressor they are giving 10 years. So like that also some of the cars also day by day they are changing the format. Earlier they are giving the warranties for 1 years, now they are 2 to 3 years also giving the warranties, and separate warranties are also trying to give to the motors being used in this particular car. So this is product cases we are going to find the warranties also nowadays plays a vital role for taking decisions for anything. And product attributes cases, there is an analysis. Most of the companies are also that when it is a big product like that, so they want to see each and every attribute, its functionality, how superior this particular company brand is, and how so inferior this particular company's brand is. So that is must be studied it properly. So if they have not studied it properly, then it's a problem. So that has to be known properly. So these product cases, the look, the shapes, the sizes, the colors, the features, the warranty. So all these things must be studied because this is affecting a lot to the people to take the decisions regarding whether they want to do that one or not. Second thing is coming, we can call it as a price. So second price is that product whenever we are going to see upon it is also we have seen that product being accepted as it's a good product. But when it comes to the price factors, the price is too high. So sometimes the marketer or the we can say the organizational buyers, they may not think, they have to think twice that when they have seen the price structure. And your organization sometimes may not permit that to spend such a huge amount of money for this kind of product or services because it is a huge burden to the company. So when the price structure also plays a vital role during this particular kind of process. Third is the distribution. Distribution cases, we know it very well that when we are distributing any particular kind of product, so kind of distribution, how they are going to supply it, when they are going to deliver, where is their stockyard, and how this particular product will come to our place, and how they are going to install, whether there is a installation charges or something. So these are also the stimuli which is affecting a lot your decision making. Because in the distribution cases, if the installation other things are also chargeable, then this is also again added to the price value. So that's why this is also another third factor that they are going to consider. Fourth is that is the promotion. So although you have not seen the product in physical mode, but you have seen that is in the computer or you have seen it is through the advertisement or something. So on the basis of that also sometimes you have taken the decision. So that is what we called it as a stimuli. But what kind of response you are trying to give? First is that your behavioral response. So first is product usage. So product usage, if you have used this particular product earlier, it is quite easy to understand the product very well and to purchase very quick. Your decision making will be very faster. But if you do not have the product you used earlier, so it will take much more time to understand, verify, and to accept. Then source loyalty. Who is selling this particular product is the right kind of product person or not, whether he has a good history of selling good products. So this is also equally going to be studied properly. Communication, he can able to communicate everything properly or not. He's not communicating all the things which matters a lot for decision making. So that is also being studied. And last one is the awareness attitude. So awareness attitude cases at what extent your organization being aware about this particular product and what is your attitude, whether it's a positive attitude or negative attitude towards that kind of product. So on the basis of that also you are going to take the decision whether you want to purchase this particular product or not. So here marketing stimuli through the processing, your processing organization is going to process that whether they want to purchase or not. But finally, in the case of response, it is based on the few factors which is going to give the output regarding the purchases will take place or not. Now we'll go through this buying grid model. So buy grid model is that we have buying situations already we have discussed, whether it is a new first time purchases or it is a straight rebuy cases that already you have purchased and only you require to give the permission for the next purchase. And third one case is that modified rebuy. Modified rebuy cases, I told already that little bit modifications being required for this one. So here the buying center roles means the different people in your organization, starting from president, then other people are there, general manager and other people who are taking the decision making process. So these people involvement and their roles are the key roles for the decision. But what are the decisions they are going to take and how it starts with? Identification of needs, what we have started already in there. Then establishing specification, we discussed there. Search for alternatives. Here there are few brands are there, which are the companies or the suppliers they are providing this particular product. Out of that, you are going to search which one is the right product for your organization. Or as per your requirement, that particular supplier can able to provide the product. Next is coming the established contact. So how to contact those people through that. That means they are going to establish with you that to supply this particular product to your organization and what means they can able to provide. Then set purchase and usage criteria. So how they are going to help you once purchase done. So that is also being studied or that is being also discussed earlier. Evaluate alternative buying actions. So you are going to evaluate whether you want to buy it from that supplier or some other suppliers are available who are providing better services or better product. Determine the budget abilities. This is also more important that whether your budget is permitting for all the suppliers product or few suppliers product, that also take the determinations regarding which kind of suppliers can be right kind of suppliers for your organization. Then evaluate the specific alternatives. So evaluating out of after considering all these financial and other components, now you are evaluating which is better and not. Negotiate with suppliers. Still also you have the consideration that if I negotiate, I may go for a little bit lesser price or component wise any specification, new specification you want to give certain changes, little bit modification required. So that can be done through the negotiation with the suppliers. Then buy, when to buy, how to buy, what are the terms and conditions, financial terms and conditions that you are going to do. Use, that how to use this particular product, what extent the people are going to give the training to you or just like that. So that is also must be discussed with these people. And conduct post-purchase evaluation. So how often these people will come after purchases, any problem will occur or this training program problems, people are not understanding properly how to operate. So this case is how these people are going to help that is also being studied. And now it is the Fisher's organizational behavior model. So we know it very well that depending on the complexity of the product, the decisions is more complex or more time consuming or less time consuming. So here we can see that two things are there. One is commercial uncertainty. Commercial uncertainty is that day by day the changes being happening, the environmental changes being happening, that is common. And product complexity is that the more is the product complex and less is the product concept, how the decisions being changed. So first is that if commercial uncertainty is low and product complexity is low, higher emphasis. So here buyer has to give the more emphasis to understand it properly, because there is a low commercial, you do not have knowledge much more regarding that, and product knowledge also low. So you have to put more time to take the decisions. But when it is the product complexity is more high, then that particular case is technical emphasis, means your technical persons has to be understand it properly to take the decisions, because the complexity is more. And each and every attributes must be studied properly, how is it operating and doing that one. But when commercial uncertainty is high and product complexity is low, so policy maker emphasis here, top level management is going to take the decisions regarding that uncertainty is coming, that we should give faster purchase or we'll delay this particular purchase process. That is most important. And when product complexity and commercial uncertainty is both cases very high, so what it will happen? Total involvement. So here technical persons also must be involved, and policymaker must be involved. So everybody has to involve, so that whether you want to purchase it now because of the technical complexity, your people can able to understand it properly or not. There is a technical session essential for that to educate. So all these things must be known properly. At the same time, also top level management is also equally going to think that what extent we can do, and whether we should purchase it now or we are going to purchase it later on, and our people after how many days they can understand this particular product or they can use this one. So that is most important. So here low product complexity, standard product, easy to use, established product, and previously purchased product, easy to install. So these are the things what we can call it is a low product complexity, because already you understood the product. It will not create any kind of panic or problem among the employees, and because they have already used easy to use or easy to use, everybody can understand it quickly. Then previously that product you have purchased, it's a rebuy situation, so it's not a difficult task. So low product complexity cases, it's not a issue. The company can take the decision very fast. But when it is a high product complexity, it is here, it requires a lot of time, effort by the technical persons to understand it. After that, technical person is going to educate, giving training to the employees that this particular model of product we are purchasing, what extent you people can able to understand it and can use it. So that will be a linger the process. Might be sometime it is 1 month to 6 months it will take to understand, to implement this particular product. After that, you can take the decisions regarding the product purchase. So sometimes if there's the high product complexity is creating a problem to the companies. So here unique product, technically complicated, new product, new buying situations, completely new to the company, new companies products are coming. So that particularly difficult to install, also self-service required. When it is low commercial uncertainty, so low commercial uncertainty cases, your investment part is low and small order, so you can do that one, and purchases will be faster, you can do, and short-term commitment and negligible. Profitability is not much more being affected by this one. So that particular cases, you can do take the action very quickly. Top level management can take the actions very fast. High commercial uncertainty, high investment, so bulk order. So here top level management will not take the decisions instantly, because there are a lot of things are there, long term, then commitment is there, and major effect of the profitability, and these things are there. And ranking orders, that the selection of the suppliers based on that, how are you going to do reliability of the delivery dates promised, because it is also essential to understand whether they can able to provide at the right time or not. Price also you need to negotiate. Suppliers flexibility, what extent the supplier is flexible to provide this particular item at the right time to you. Consistency in the dealings of the suppliers. So if you have dealt that supplier earlier or frequently you are dealing, so it will not be a problem for you. Complaint rates and resolution, if less complaints are coming, it is quite easier for the supplier to select this particular kind of supplier. Kind of assembly production facilities, the assembly of this particular product requires in your premises or buyer's premises or supplier's premises, that plays also a major role. Efficient follow-up orders, that also how supplier can able to follow. Previously, if you have purchased the product, then automatically it will not be a problem. Persistent efforts to improve the quality of the services. So if the people are coming frequently, then that will be better. And prompt attention to the inquiries. So when inquiries will be there from the buyer side, the supplier can able to provide it very quickly. And suppliers overall reputation. So these suppliers can be recognized by the too many companies or the buyers in that particular environment. So that is mostly studied properly. And recent developments, it must be technology enabled search and access suppliers. So today mostly these are the challenges mostly going to face. Technology enabled means difficult to understand and very time consuming. And trend emanating from the developments in the IoT. So IT sectors developments are changing very frequently. So every organization has to study it properly to implement it every stages. Otherwise, it will be a great challenge in the near future. thanking you, thinking that this session will be very much helpful for you.